What's up, y'all? Welcome to Boxing Talk Nightly, man. It seems like we're not gonna have the middleweight clash between Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade, unfortunately, due to Billy Joe Saunders, actions of getting caught, failing a drug test. He was denied a license in Boston, Massachusetts, and the fight he will not be fighting. In the fight, he's been stripped also. So I guess Demetrius Andrade will have an opponent. I don't know this guy that he's fighting. I'm not gonna pretend to know him. So he's fighting that guy, I guess, for the vacant WBO title. Hey, that's on Billy Joe Saunders. He was one of the guys that was the main people that got on Canelo for getting caught cheating, and now he got caught cheating. Man, it's crazy. But you know, Billy Joe Saunders, I guess he got to take his punishment like a man. You know what I'm saying? He see what these guys do when they get caught. They make it worse, man, because they lie. They try to cover up. They try to say, "Well, it wasn't my fault." You have to take responsibility of what goes in your body. Period. Point blank. You just have to. And Billy Joe Saunders just have to take responsibility of what went into his body, and now it cost him his title. Billy Joe Saunders, he can fight, but do we know? I mean, and I know he had stamina problems in the past. He was known for having stamina problems, not being disciplined and working out properly. And just like Canelo, he was known for having stamina problems. And when you have a big fight or something like of that magnitude, guys want to make sure they're 100% ready, quote unquote. So they will cut corners, man. And he tried to cut a corner and he got caught. So I don't feel sorry for him one bit. That's just, hey, you gotta, when you try to cut corners, if you get caught, you gotta suffer the consequences, man. So now that's a big fight that's not gonna happen. So hopefully Demetrius Andrade can go in there and put on a good show and win the title. And hopefully Demetrius Andrade fights either Danny Jacobs, the winner of Danny Jacobs in his fight. If Danny Jacobs win, hopefully Demetrius Andrade fight him, and we can start consolidating this middleweight division. Canelo is moving to 168. I guess he's fighting for a fringe title up there. I don't even know the guy that's a title holder up there. I heard that the guy was given the title, or I don't know, man. It's weird, man. These sanctioning bodies. I know people are pointing out that these sanctioning bodies are corrupt. They've been corrupt. The sanction body's been corrupt. It's just we got more information, and now we finding out that they are as corrupt as we thought. They're just corrupt, man. The ranking system is all screwed up. Guys paying for ranking systems. I heard Teddy Atlas interview, and he admitted that you can pay for a ranking spot in the ranking sanctions within these WBC, IBF, where's the WBO, they can be bought. So listen, boxing is a corrupt sport. It has always been a corrupt sport. It's nothing new. Like when people say, well, the WBC is corrupt, the WBC, all these sanctioning bodies, they're going to make special, they're going to give their top guys in their respective sanctioning bodies, or whoever holding their belt, they're going to give guys like Mayweather, guys like Canelo, guys that bring in a lot of money, they're going to give them special treatment. It's always been like that. Sugar Ray Leonard got special treatment. I'm pretty sure he got special treatment. I'm pretty sure all De La Hoya has gotten special treatment. Floyd Mayweather has gotten special treatment. Floyd Mayweather has gotten special treatment because he had guys that were his mandatories for 2 or 3 years. I remember that Aiden, that Selden Aiden guy, whatever that guy is, the one that Robert Guerrero beat after Robert Guerrero was off for about a year and a half due to his his wife illness, and he came back and he beat him. That guy was Mayweather's mandatory for like almost 3 years. So they're gonna do what they want to do, man. In the end, they're gonna do what they want to do. So I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Canelo is going to 168, okay, if he's fighting for a title, he want to go up there, try to fight for a title, trying to chase another title, say he 4-division champion or whatever he want to say, and come back down. Is he gonna fight Charlo? Yes or no? But we have to see, man. We have to see if he's gonna fight Charlo, because I remember when Rigondeaux fought Lomo, they stripped him his title because he was moving up to fight Lomachenko. So, like I told you, you're gonna get different treatments for different people. That's life. That's throughout life. If it's not, I don't know why people are surprised it's in boxing, because that's throughout life. Certain people get certain treatment. They get the red carpet treatment. Canelo was hooked up with De La Hoya. De La Hoya got the red carpet treatment. The WBC is based in Mexico. Jose Suleiman, he's Mexican, I believe. Yes, he is Mexican. So, voila, there you go. I'm not surprised. I'm not going to get overly emotional about it. So, now, the fact that Canelo is not going to fight Charlo, and the WBC came out and mandated that Golovkin has to fight Charlo, and the winner of that gets to fight Canelo. You see how that works? So Canelo gets to get a soft touch. Now, everybody was saying, I made a video saying Canelo has to fight Charlo. Then people in the comment section say, hey man, you have to give Canelo a break. He had 2 hard fights with Triple G back to back. And now I don't hear nobody saying, well, you got to get Triple G that same that same treatment. He fought 2 guys back to back. Now he's mandated to fight Charlo. I don't hear nobody saying, well, Canelo is ducking Charlo. I don't hear nobody saying that, because they say he had 2 fights back to back that was hard, but Golovkin was in the same fight. So man, y'all crazy, dude. Y'all some crazy people, man. I know it's different standards for different people according to the fighters that you like, that you support the most. You're going to let them get away with certain things. You're not going to be as hard on them as you are hard on the guys that you don't like, that you out here calling faggots and calling AJ word faggot and scared of Deontay Wilder. But this is my thing. The same guy you calling the fag and scared and all this and ducking and whatever, your favorite fighter is probably doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's always going to be double standards. Canelo is getting the red carpet treatment. He's going to duck Charlo fight for right now. Maybe he'll go up and then he'll come back down and fight Charlo. Maybe he won't. Let's see what he does after he fights this fight. I'm not going to get over emotional and all that stuff. Now, Amir Khan saying that he can fight Kell Brook at a catch weight. Okay. It's not for a title, so I'm not worried about if they fight for. I don't care about catch weights when there's not a title involved. Only if it's a title involved am I real strict on catch weight. I don't believe guys should be fighting guys at a catch weight if it's a title involved. Like if a welterweight want to fight a middleweight, the welterweight shouldn't tell the middleweight, oh, you got to meet me at 152.5 for your middleweight title. Hell no. If you want to fight that guy for his title at 160, fight him. Or if you want to fight someone 155.5 or something like that, closer to your weight, fight somebody at 154. That means that guy is too big for you. That means he's too much for you. That means you don't want to go up there and you really don't want those problems at that guy's full strength. You want to try to drain the guy down. So if it's not for a title, I don't care if you if y'all want to meet in the middle. Just like this Khan Brook, it's not for a title, so meet in the middle. Who cares? Because that's a fight that the UK should have had a couple years ago, but hopefully they can get the fight done. It's a big fight for the UK. I'll watch the fight too, because I wanted to see them fight a couple years ago. So hopefully they won't drag it out as long as possible. They just go ahead and get the fight done. But I guess the news going around is that Keith Thurman is about to come back to fight Shawn Porter. Now, I don't know if Keith Thurman is going to fight a tune-up, because it's also a thing on Boxing Scene saying that Keith Thurman may come back in October, or I think it was Boxing Scene I seen, or some other place I seen it at. So I don't know if he's going to fight a tune-up or he's going to go straight to Porter. Now, he went straight to Porter after he was off for a year and a half last time they fought, after he was in a car accident. He came back in a year and a half and he went straight to Porter, no warm-up. So If is he gonna do that this time? I don't know. Now, it's a lot of people mad at Shawn Porter. Now, this is the reason why I said Shawn Porter was iffy about fighting Earl Spence. I don't think Shawn Porter is scared to fight Earl Spence. The thing is this: when Keith Thurman, he didn't get stripped of his WBC title. As a matter of fact, he never got stripped. He released the belt with a promise from the WBC that he will be the first, when he is ready to fight for the title, he can supersede anybody that wants to fight for the title. That includes Earl Spence, even though Earl Spence has a belt and it'll be a unification. Keith Thurman is like a champion in recess for the WBC. Now, if people was listening instead of getting all emotional, like this is one life to live or something, they're getting real mad at Shawn Porter. But it has nothing to do. Shawn Porter don't have no fight in this because it was already promised to Keith Thurman prior to him releasing the belt in order for Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter to fight for the vacant WBC title. Now, if y'all can remember back about 6, 7, 8 months ago, when Keith Thurman was saying he was going to come back, the WBC said that Keith Thurman had 2 mandatories. Now, remember when they said that? They came out and said that he had 2 mandatories. His 2 mandatories was going to be Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter. And then I distinctly remember everybody saying, include myself, when the last time a sanctioning body put a double mandatory on someone? And my thing was this: the solution is, why don't you let Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter fight to consolidate that mandatory into one? And that's what the WBC ultimately did. But Danny Garcia was not going to fight Shawn Porter unless that belt was on the line. So I believe this was said to Keith Thurman: why don't you release the title? Let those 2 guys fight for the belt, because you have a mandatory for both of them, so that you don't have to fight Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter. You will only have to fight one. But Danny Garcia is not going to fight Shawn Porter unless he's fighting Shawn Porter for the WBC title. So Keith Thurman released the WBC title, allowing them to fight, for that fight to go on, to consolidate one fighter. That's why Keith Thurman came out and said it doesn't matter who wins the fight, he can fight either one of them whenever he wants. That means he can supersede Terrence Crawford, he can supersede Earl Spence, he can supersede anybody. He can come in and say, no, I want to fight for my WBC title. And Jose Suleiman came out in an interview, a month ago, and said, essentially, Keith Thurman is the champion in recess. Whenever he comes back, he gets to fight for his title. So I don't know why everybody's so up in arms, calling Shawn Porter scary, pussy, and all this stuff. Now, in order for Shawn Porter to fight Earl Spence, he would have to drop the belt, because he cannot fight no one else. And look, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. And I believe I heard in the video somebody said this, and I said this a while ago. Keith Thurman is not going to let Earl Spence step in and fight for that title and let Earl Spence be the WBC title and the unified IBF champion. He's not going to do that. If he think that Earl Spence is going to be able to fight Shawn Porter next, he's going to step. I knew that. I was like, he's going to step in. He's going to fight Shawn Porter. He's going to turn his money in the bank and say, no, I want the shot. I want my shot at my title. He's not going to let Earl Spence. Now, I know I heard on Trail Boxing with a black fight fan in '78. He said that Keith Thurman is jealous of Earl Spence. I don't know if he's jealous of Earl Spence, man. I can't even tell you that. I don't know if the man jealous of Earl Spence. All I know is this: Keith Thurman was never going to let Earl Spence capture that title. That was the bottom line. And he was going to fight the winner of Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. I mean, Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter, no matter what. Now, you can say what you want about, you know what I'm saying, Shawn Porter. See, everybody think they know the facts. Everybody say they got background or behind the scenes. They hearing from some other people about this, and that. This is my thing. A lot of this stuff has already been discussed. And I'm pretty sure, I'm telling y'all, I'm pretty sure that Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and Earl Spence knows exactly what's going on. They're not going to tell y'all what's going on. Just because you interview them or you're close to their camp or you think you know them, they're not going to tell y'all everything. You're not going to be privy to everything. I'm pretty sure that they knew this stuff already. That's why Earl Spence got in the ring and said, I want this fight. I want this fight next. I'm hoping you fight me next. Because they already know that Keith Thurman can come in and fight for this title whenever he wants to fight for the title. Why do y'all really think that Earl Spence has not been going in on Keith Thurman? Now, at the press conference, this is what Earl Spence said. Everybody wants to see me fight Keith Thurman. When Keith Thurman comes back, the fans are going to fall in line. Essentially, that's what he said. Why you think he's not talking bad about Keith Thurman? Because they already know the situation. That's why Shawn Porter said the politics may play a part in me not fighting Earl Spence. Because he already know that he has to fight Keith Thurman. When he had that interview, he said, I don't think Keith Thurman should get a shot at the title right away because Keith Thurman was playing with the belts. Y'all remember him saying that? He said, I do not think. He didn't say, I'm not going to give Keith Thurman a shot, because he can't say that because he has no control over whether he's going to get Keith Thurman a shot or not. The WBC has told him, you have to fight Keith Thurman. If Keith Thurman want to fight you, you have to fight Keith Thurman. If Keith Thurman don't want to fight you, you can fight Earl Spence. But if Keith Thurman come in and say he want to fight you, and I believe Keith Thurman sat back and said, well, he probably didn't sit back and said, he probably already knew that I'm not going to let Earl Spence fight for my title and possibly beat Shawn Porter, and now he the unified champion. No, I'm going to come back and fight for my belt, reclaim my belt, and then fight Earl Spence. But everybody thinks Earl Spence is the boogeyman. That's the thing. Like I told y'all, there are no such thing as a man being a boogeyman, okay? Like I said, Tyson was the closest to a boogeyman, but I was young. I was about 12, 13 years old when Tyson was making his run up the heavyweight ranks. I think I had to be 11 or something like that when Tyson won the belt, when Tyson won the title. So I had no life experience. I was still young. But as you get older, you become an adult, you get into manhood, you understand there are no boogeymans, because guess what? The boogeyman is a mythical thing. And the thing about the boogeyman is the boogeyman can't be killed. The boogeyman always comes back. Look at Michael Myers. Michael Myers has been stabbed, shot, burnt, cut, everything. What do Michael Myers keep doing? He keeps coming back. So if you think Earl Spence is the boogeyman, you're going to be sadly mistaken. But Earl Spence have to wear that title because y'all put it on him. Y'all put the title of boogeyman. But when it comes, just like y'all say, Keith Thurman talks different when it comes to Earl Spence, and Shawn Porter speaks different when it comes to Earl Spence. Earl Spence speaks different when it comes to Terrence Crawford. Oh no, it's just that Terrence Crawford is on the wrong side of the street. That's why he speaks bad. That's why he speaks different about Terrence Crawford, because Terrence is on the wrong side of the street. Come on, y'all, just stop it, man. Stop it. Just stop it. They are freezing Earl Spence out. They don't want Earl Spence to get the fight. They jealous of Earl Spence. Come on, y'all. Are y'all real? Come on, man. Be real, man. The fact of the matter is this. Shawn Porter has no control over he doesn't have full control over the WBC title. Because Keith Thurman is the champion in recess. So, in order for him to get full control of the WBC title, he has to be Keith Thurman. That's the bottom line. No, Earl Spence is not next. Earl Spence is next after Keith Thurman. But he's not next. And everybody got in their mind that Earl Spence is being done wrong. He's been done wrong. No. Earl Spence knows what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. It's just that you don't know what's going on. So you're frustrated because you don't know exactly what's going on. You are getting overly emotional about every little word you hear. Every little word you hear. 1 minute people say, I understand that Keith Thurman is the champion in recess and he can step in and say he can fight for his belt. I understand that Shawn Porter, probably got to fight Keith Thurman. Then on the other hand, you calling Shawn Porter a pussy and he's scared. Come on, man. Which is it? Is the man, is he, because he can't be both. He can't be both. Either he's mandated to fight Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman knows it, and Earl Spence knows it, and Shawn Porter knows it. Or Shawn Porter just scared to fight Earl Spence. He can't be, y'all. You can't say both. You can't break down and say you understand. Once you say you understand something, that's it. You understand it. That means anything you saying after that is just, I don't know what it is. It's hot air. I never seen a bunch of men get so emotional. And then people say, oh, no, it's passion. No, man, it's not passion. It's overly emotional like a girl. No, we are men. We should not be getting overly emotional. If you have the data in front of you and the data is telling you one thing, but you want to believe another thing and get emotional over what you believe, then that's your problem. Because Jose Suleiman said that Keith Thurman can fight for his title whenever he wants. That should shut everything up. Now, you can still think that Shawn Porter is scared to fight Earl Spence all you want. That's an opinion. But what you can't say is Shawn Porter is about to duck Earl Spence to fight Keith Thurman. No, he's not about to duck Earl Spence to fight Keith Thurman because he never had the choice to fight Earl Spence unless he's willing to drop the title. Now, if Shawn Porter come out and say, I'm not fighting Keith Thurman, I'm about to drop the title, and I'm not fighting Earl Spence, okay, you could say that's a duck. You could say he's ducking Earl Spence then. But if he says, I'm going to drop the title and I'm going to fight Earl Spence. I even heard that scenario. What if Blue Blood Boxing and Ticket TV was having a discussion and Blue Blood said, okay, so what you want? You want Shawn Porter to drop the belt and fight Earl Spence? And Ticket TV was still mad. He was mad about that solution. No, he wants Shawn Porter to have the belt. But Shawn Porter does not have control over the WBC title. What logic? What part of that do you not understand? I think a lot of people on here, either through overly emotion and being overly emotion does this to you. It cuts off your comprehension. It does. It cuts off most people's comprehension. If you understand that Shawn Porter don't have a control over that belt, you will understand that Earl Spence is not next. And then you will just go to the next thing. Why don't y'all push Earl Spence versus Terrence Crawford? Terrence Crawford wants to fight. He does not have... Now, he's finna fight Jose Benavidez this Saturday. Hopefully, if he's successful at beating Benavidez, I can't put nothing past any fighter. I'm not going to say oh, it's just a shoe-in that he gonna beat Benavidez. No, Benavidez is talented. He's a talented fighter. He can fight. I expect Terrence Crawford to win. I expect Terrence Crawford to take over the second half of that fight and shine in that fight. But I'm not gonna say that he's definitely gonna beat the man. So if he's successful in beating Jose Benavidez, why don't people push Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence? Because y'all know Terrence Crawford is not scared of Errol Spence. I mean, y'all have come to a conclusion that Terrence Crawford is not scared. Now, y'all think everybody else is scared, but y'all have come to a conclusion that Terrence Crawford is not scared. So why don't y'all push that fight? Because soon as Terrence Crawford beat Benavidez, I'm pushing that fight every single day for him to fight Errol Spence. Because he said he wanted. Errol Spence said he wants to fight. Errol Spence said, I'm not fighting on ESPN. ESPN has come out, has reportedly come out and said that they can do a joint pay-per-view, whatever they're going to do. I don't think the fight is worth pay-per-view, but if they can do a joint pay-per-view and both of the sides can come together. Now, if that is true and they come out and say that, and Bob Arum say he's ready to make the fight, Errol Spence has to be ready. It's no more he's on the other side of the street. I'm not going to fight on ESPN. There's no more of that. No collaboration, just like MMA joint collaboration, just like Lennox Lewis and Tyson did a joint collaboration. It's gonna be a joint collaboration, so it's no more of that, and it's for a title because, as far as I know, Errol Spence said it's strap season. He didn't say what strap it was season. He just said it's strap season. So go get the strap from the guy that actually wants to fight, not the guys from PBC with everybody saying Al Heyman this, Al Heyman that, but Al Heyman and Danny Garcia, Shawn Porter, Errol Spence, and Keith Thurman are all under his umbrella. And y'all saying Errol Spence getting frozen out. So who's freezing him out? Who's freezing him out exactly? If he can't get none of those fights with none of those guys, then why not push the Terrence Crawford fight? Because y'all keep telling me that he got all these options, but he's not getting the fights. Oh, Errol Spence got an option. He has options, man. He has an option to fight Keith Thurman. He can fight Danny Garcia. He can fight Shawn Porter. But the fights are not being made. So why not go over there and fight Terrence Crawford? I know. Because Terrence Crawford is a threat. He's a threat. See, he puts that boogeyman stuff to rest. No, Errol Spence is not the boogeyman. There's no such thing as a boogeyman. And Errol Spence is not the boogeyman. Because guess what? Somebody wants to fight the boogeyman. And that's Terrence Crawford. The best fighter in the world wants to fight the boogeyman, y'all. Not only do he want to fight him, he believes he can beat him. Now, like I said, Errol Spence is a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a good fighter. He does good at he's good at what he does. He comes forward. He's a body puncher. I don't particularly think he can box that well in the center of the ring. I seen it. His best opponent that he fought, Kell Brook. Y'all can keep saying he stopped him. Yes, he did stop him. As bright as day, he stopped the man. But in the center of the ring, he wasn't looking too good. And that's all I'm gonna say. What do you think Terrence Crawford is gonna do to him? Because Terrence Crawford is a better fighter than Kell Brook. I don't care what you say. You can say Kell Brook can beat everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume. What can Kell Brook do with Terrence Crawford? I don't care what he can do with everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume. I don't care what Errol Spence can do against everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume. I don't care what Terrence Crawford can do against everybody on Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Because that's who he's going to be fighting. He's not going to be fighting Terrence Crawford's resume when they fight. He's going to be fighting Terrence Crawford, the guy that dominated all the guys on his resume. You're not going to be fighting the guys on his resume. You're going to be fighting the guy that actually dominated the guys on his resume. Just like Terrence Crawford going to be fighting Errol Spence, the guy that dominated the guys on his resume. They're not going to be fighting each other's resume. So when people bring up the resume, like, man, so you don't think Errol Spence can beat everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume? I don't care if he can beat everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume. Can he beat Terrence Crawford? Because that's the guy he's going to be fighting on that night. And I say no. I say no because he fights in one style. It's not hard to figure out what Earl Spence is going to do. Terrence Crawford can fight many different ways. Terrence Crawford can fight off his back foot and win a fight because I seen it. I seen it, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I seen it. He can fight coming forward because I seen it. He can fight counterpunching because I seen it. He can fight and be successful defensively mixed with offense because I seen it. I only seen Earl Spence fight one way. Now look, he's brilliant in that one way, but I only seen one way. And when you fighting at that top level, what they gonna be fighting at when those two guys get in the ring, you got to be able to change and switch up what you do. And guess who can do that? Terrence Crawford. And guess what? He can fight southpaw as well. How you like that? The man can fight southpaw as well. So he could throw so many things into the fight, so many different wrinkles. And that's all it takes at that high level. That's all it takes is a wrinkle here and there, and the fight changes. The fight can be dominated by one fighter or the other just by changing little wrinkles. By little wrinkles here and there can change the fight from a competitive fight to a dominant performance. And like I said, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a good fight for the first 5 rounds. The second half of that fight, the cream will rise to the top. And that's going to be Terrence Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out. Peace.